Preview.
Wendy, we've done a decent amount of kind of IFRS to US GAAP or vice versa lately. Maybe give a few words of wisdom from your side in terms of what that looks like and where typically people kind of trip up.
You know, many of us have not had the opportunity to be exposed to both, right? Knowing when to ask for help, even if it's just, hey, I just need some advisory. You know, I need to think through what needs to change and things like that. There, you know, very good guides out there to help you through it, but there are nuances, right? You know, we try to converge over time, but we're still not there. Who knows if we'll ever be there? So yeah, knowing when to ask for help, making sure you have enough time planned. There are different aspects for a public company versus a private company and based on the industry as well. So like you alluded to earlier, we only know as much as we know, right? It's impossible to be an expert in everything. So knowing when to ask for help is key.
Courtney, I know you've been involved. Any other kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say too. I mean, it could be as simple as them sending us their trial balance and us going line by line very quickly to get a good plan going forward. We know which accounts will be affected and will be impacted and could have an adjustment. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward process bringing us in for that kind of exercise because we can understand and know pretty quick what needs to potentially be an adjustment.
And we do document in a way that satisfies the auditor's needs because they may not have an IFRS background or vice versa, depending on, you know, what firm or what country is doing the auditing and stuff. So really being clear and being able to communicate with the auditors is also very, very important.
Maybe speak more to that, right? Dealing with the auditors. Some people, that gives them the Sunday scaries of knowing that they've got to talk to the auditors the next day. Like what roles, you know, maybe both. Like, let's talk about the roles that we play in the transactions. Is it just project management? Is it controller? Like, what does that look like for us and how do we slot in?
Oh, it could be all of the above, right? All of the above. And that's, you know, what I mentioned earlier about having such a diverse group of resources and that we can kind of see all the gaps that need to be filled as part of that. Technical expertise, reporting, controller, accounting manager, all of those different, even FP&A, right? We have that as well as the equity side of things. But our team, what's really important is to be able to communicate to those auditors. Courtney and I both came from an audit background. There's many of us that have. I don't really get Sunday scaries from them because that means I'd be scared of that. But just being able to communicate and know that, you know, we do things for management. Management ultimately has to review and be comfortable with them, but we are, you know, right there beside them, helping them through the process of, you know, going through the audit.
Yeah, I mean, in the past few years, I think, I mean, me alone have probably done 4 or 5 first-year audits, which can be extremely daunting on a new company. They've never been through it before. Maybe it's a big 4 audit that's coming in, and obviously they're going to have a lot of questions. I think the critical thing for us is that we know the questions that they're going to ask, so we can be proactive in addressing those up front and not reactive to when the auditors, you know, come to you for things like that. So I would say we're experts in this area, not only just because we've done it at Armanino, but also because we have that past experience and can be crucial. I mean, we can be the project managers. We've done it to that level. We can be an interim controller in that scenario if there's a need there. But yeah, the range is endless as far as how we can help with from an audit perspective.
Yeah, and a question came up during a prospect call last week about, do I get drafts of different memos or different assessments along the way, so it's not such a huge gap of time and then everything's kind of pushed to the end and potentially delays? Absolutely, is what I told them. I mean, we work at management's discretion. We do provide the level of expertise, but we want them to like understand their own, like what we're assessing and our conclusions that we're drafting, because they're not final until they agree as well.
Well, they have to ultimately own it, right? And they have to answer to the auditors. So that makes sense.
Yeah, we're a supplement to those hard conversations too, though. So if it's, you know, technical accounting issues that have come up, we're able to really, you know, address those head on with the auditors as well and be involved in those conversations to kind of take some of the load off of our clients.